Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here. Welcome to another 100% full game walkthrough. Today we're playing The Case of the Golden Idol. It is available on Xbox Game Pass and can be completed in as little as 30 minutes. It also takes pretty much zero skill if you follow along. You can get the base 1000 following this video, but there are 2 additional DLC packs which will bring you to 1350. Might as well just get right into the game by selecting the prologue, and the way you play this game is that you will gather evidence by interacting with clues on screen. You'll gather that evidence, and once you figure out the solution to the mystery, you can input the words into the book. If you do it correctly and solve the puzzle, you complete that level. So for the prologue, we're going to basically just be explaining how the game works. You'll be able to move around the screen with your mouse cursor, and you'll see all of these question marks and exclamation marks. In the bottom right hand corner, you'll see that there are 11 total words that can be done. What you want to do is interact with the question marks and the exclamation marks in order to gather information and clues. Don't worry, I'm going to help you do this so that you don't waste your time. But what you want to do just for the prologue is kind of get used to the controls and how the game works. When you do interact with the person in the middle, you'll be able to interact with their book, and here you'll find words that are underlined red. These are the specific types of words that you can put into the book in the bottom right hand corner. And when you click them, you'll see that they go into that book. We're now at 4 out of 11. You can also then click on the person on the right hand side, choose their map, and here you'll find words like Horn of Finger, Ruins of Xenopolis, Bay of Shadows, and Horn of Thumb. Once you grab those, you'll be at 11 out of 11 and you're ready to solve the puzzle. Click the book in the bottom left-hand corner and you'll have to fill it out with the correct clues. The reason this video is going to help you is because I'm only going to show you the words that matter, and I'm going to help you fill out these books with all the clues. Just select the words on the far right in the order they're supposed to go in. For the first puzzle, the answer is Albert Cloudsley pushed Oberon Geller from a cliff in the Horn of Thumb. That'll get you an achievement for completing the first case, and we're just going to have to complete all 12 cases in the game. You can return to the scenario selection, go to Chapter 2. Now for the rest of the cases in the game, I'm only going to actually show you what the most important things are. So click the window to get the word horse, click the desk near the middle of the screen. Here you can grab Sebastian Cloudsley. Click the book in the top left corner of the desk to get the word hunting. At this point, you can back up to the main room, click the map above the desk to get the word Blackfield. You can then back up and you can interact with the body on the bed in the bottom right corner to get the words head wound. With these 7 out of 16 words, you can solve the puzzle as follows. Click the book in the bottom left-hand corner. Sebastian Cloudsley, Lord of Blackfield, passed away in his bed. The cause of death was a head wound, which occurred when he fell from a horse while he was hunting. Completing that statement allows us to unlock the second case achievement, allows us to get back to the chapter select and select the third case to move on. Again, we're only going to click the necessary words in this next one. Click the guy on the far left, read his book to grab the word pear. Click the guy near the middle of the screen in the green coat, find his note, and use the words spontaneous combustion and idle. Back up, and near the barn doors on the right, you can find a note with the names Adam and James. With 6 out of 26, you can use the door to enter the next room. Click the guy on the far right of the table and look at his note. Here you'll find the names Edmund Cloudsley, Sebastian Cloudsley, Willard Wright, and Peter Batley. Make sure you grab all of those. And then you can back up and grab the last thing you need on the bottom right near the floor. There's a book. Grab the word aphorisms as well as upset. Then you can back up from here and solve the puzzle as follows. Peter Batley was upset to receive aphorisms in Sebastian Cloudsley's will and ordered Adam Pear and James Pear take the idol from Willard Wright. Suddenly, James Pear died from spontaneous combustion. This will complete the third case. At this point, you can return to the scenario selection, press the right bumper to chapter select into the fourth chapter. Here we'll need 12 of 26 words. Starting on the first screen near the top left, grab the trap door. That's the only thing you need before moving downstairs through the middle of the screen. You'll notice 3 people playing cards on the left. Interact with the woman. Here you can get the word John. And you want to also then read her note, and in the note you can find the name Annie. Make sure you grab John and Annie from her. Select the guy on the right who's playing cards, and here you'll want to select his dagger, which is a weapon we'll need. And then you can back up, and you'll want to select the blackboard behind the bartender. Here grab Green, Brige, and Blair. These are 3 last names. Then we can back up from here. Click the piece of paper on the bar. Here you can grab 2 more names, Willard Wright and Ash Blair. Last but not least, interact with the bartender himself. Click his note to get the name Oscar Boyton. At this point, you'll have 12 out of 26, but this is enough to complete the puzzle. Ash Blair got into Willard Wright's room through the trap door, while John Brige and Annie Green and Oscar Boyton were playing cards with loud music. A fight ensued upstairs, and Willard Wright got stabbed with a dagger. Just to give you enough time to actually put all of these in, I will leave this on screen for a few more seconds. An achievement for the fourth case will unlock once you complete the puzzle. You can then return to the scenario selection. If you want to do a quick achievement check, you should be at 300 Gamerscore. And you can now start case number 5. We are technically in chapter 2. This is the intoxicating dinner party, and we'll continue. From the first screen, you want to interact with the coat rack near the middle of the screen, then interact with the pink coat. Here, interact with the note on the left, and grab the name Edmund Cloudsley. You can then back up from the screen and head through the door on the far right. In this large room, there are a couple of things to grab. Start near the top left. In the attic, you'll automatically get the word mattress, but more importantly, get the book near the top of this picture, and here you'll be able to grab the word dark hand. Additionally, in this scene, you can get the note near the fireplace by the 2 ladies who are cleaning. Here you'll want to grab the last name Baker. You can then interact with the cleaning lady on the right, and here, interact with her note in order to grab the first name, Ada. After you back up from that, in the far top right corner of the screen, you can find the word bag. This one's very hidden. And then you can head upstairs. Use the cabinet with the blue lock near the left of the screen and head inside. On the top right, grab the word tonic. And then you can back up and interact with the desk. On the desk, interact with the note near the top left. Here you can grab the name Rose Kubert. Then back up and interact with the garbage near the left of the desk. Here there will be a bunch of notes. The one you want is near the bottom left-hand corner, and the word you want is stewards. At this point, you're ready to solve the book, and the solution is Darkhand Steward wanted Edmund Cloudsley dead. Therefore, Ada Baker poisoned the tonic and hid the necessary key in a bag. At the dinner party, Rose Kubert ingested the poison and died. At this point, you're ready to return to the scenario screen and chapter select your way to chapter 6. This one's called The Explosive Events in the Forest Cabin. As you start, you want to interact on the left of the screen with the buggy, and here you'll be able to find a book. Interact with that book near the top left and find the names Hardy Abe and Jack Nails. You can then back up and head inside of the cabin. Once in the cabin, interact with the person on the far left. Here you can interact with their head and then interact with their body. And what you'll want to do is find the note near the bottom of the screen for the word corpse. You can back up and interact with the scarecrow in order to get the word coffin as well. Then interact with the woman near the middle of the screen, and she has a document with the name Walter Keene. Grab that as well. Then interact with the note on the wall behind her, and here you'll want to grab the name David Gorin and Edmund Cloudsley. You can then back up from this screen and head through the door on the right-hand side to the next room. In this final room, go to the bottom right-hand corner and interact with the man inside of this bin. Here you'll find a book, and you want to interact with that book, clicking the first tab at the top of the screen in order to get the word air. You can then back up from this tab and skip a couple tabs, go to the fourth one near the bottom. Here you'll find the word increased and exploded. Grab both of those, and then you can back up. Go to the middle of the screen near the bottom to the question mark, and this should get you the word vase automatically. And last but not least, interact with the person in the green jacket on the left of the room. Interact with their club for the word clubbed. And you're now ready to solve the book with 17 words. The solution is Edmund Cloudsley needed a corpse. Walter Keane, along with his accomplices, delivered a coffin. Upon entering, Hardy Abe suddenly clubbed David Gorin. Meanwhile, Edmund Cloudsley increased the amount of air in a sealed vase. When Hardy Abe and Jack Nails entered the room, the vase exploded and killed them both. From there, return to the scenario select screen, click the right bumper to head over to Chapter 3, and this starts the strange practices of a secret society. Once you start, you can skip everything and just head through the blue door on the right of the screen. Once inside, interact with the red flag on the wall for the word Dark Hands and Proud Beasts. Then interact with the blue flag and get the word Initiate. On the desk near the middle of the room, click the left scroll for the word David Gorin as well as Walter Keane. You can then click the scroll on the right and grab Lazarus Hearst and Jeffrey Sinclair. With that out of the way, with 11 words, click the door near the bottom right of the screen. Click the guy on the far right of the screen for the word signaled. Click the statue on the far right of the room for the word Inception. And here you can leave back to the main room and then up through the door in the center. As you enter, you'll see 3 scrolls near the top left of the room. Click the top one to automatically get the word drank. And on the actual scroll, you'll find challenged and poison. Click the bottom right poster now and get the word dispute. Near the middle of the room, click the cups for the word cup. And click the guy in the purple robe near the middle of the room, clicking on his tankard to get the word tankard. We're now at 19 out of 31 with the book being able to be solved. The solution is Walter Keane was challenged to a dispute ritual. He, with David Gorin, ambushed Darkhand Initiate. David Gorin, posing as Darkhand Initiate, signaled to Walter Keane with a tankard, which cup had no poison. Jeffrey Sinclair drank the other cup and died. Meanwhile, Lazarus Hearst passed the Inception ritual to become Proud Beast Initiate. With another level done and another achievement out of the way, you're ready to go back to the main menu there and go to the next chapter called The Crowning Celebration at the Lighthouse. As you start, click on the far left of the screen inside of the boat, finding a container. Here, find the word Griffin Rebirth. And then under the History tab, you can also find the words flying and jumped. You can ignore everything else here for now. You can then back up, and you'll want to click on the person on the far right in the purple robe. Click their note with the green seal and grab the word Lighthouse, Angus McBain, as well as the name Lazarus Hearst. None of the other names are necessary, so we'll ignore them for now. Then you can click the person in the green robe and click their cane. Here you'll get the word idle as it's hidden inside. Last but not least, get the feet on the far right of the screen. Interact with their face for the words head wound. With 13 out of 31, go ahead and solve the book. Lazarus Hurst jumped from the lighthouse using the idol to demonstrate the miracle of flying and became Griffin reborn. Angus McBain jumped from the lighthouse afterwards. This resulted in Angus McBain's death from a head wound. That was definitely one of the shorter cases in the game, but nonetheless, we get another achievement worth 75 Gamerscore, and we can return to the scenario selection to go for scenario number 9. This is called the Interrupted Weekend at the Doctor's Salon, and we can continue. Start with the top left of the screen, finding the white map. Here you'll want the words tea house, library, and salon. Back up and then click on the third person from the left with the blue jacket. Here you'll want the words frame, patoo, and button. You can then go from the third person to the fourth person and they'll have the word killed. From the fourth person, you can go skip a person and go to the sixth person to get the word stole. And then you can go to the next person in line, and here on the left, you'll be able to find kind of like a symbol for the word seal. Near the top right-hand side of the room, you can also find a poster with plants for the word drugged, and then you can click the person on the far right of the room and go into their book. On their book, we're just going to get every single name as it's easier this way. Open up the tabs to get all of the last names possible. Here you'll get words like Bell, Alistair Coke, Sherry, Blanchard, and more names as well. We're just going to need basically all of these, so it doesn't really matter. It's easier to just grab all of them than it is to kind of pinpoint the exact ones you want. Once you've cleared out this book and we're at 27 out of 36, you can head outside by using either of the doors on the right or the left. Then near the bottom right of the screen, you'll find the fountain with the benches. Click in here, and on the bench, find the piece of paper. On that piece of paper, find the word Valentine. And now you're ready to solve for the solution, which is early in the morning, James Turner drugged Leopold Blanchard in the library and stole a button. Meanwhile, in the tea house, Ergin Patoo drugged Gideon Bell and stole a Lemurian seal from the salon. In the salon, at around noon, Alistair Coke killed Augustus Valentine and planted the button on him to frame Leopold Blanchard. And with that, we complete the 9th case, unlock yet another achievement. We can continue back to the chapter select menu and select the shortest chapter in the game, which is actually case number 10. From here, you'll start out, click the desk near the middle of the room. Here, find the word merit. Then you can just head upstairs, ignoring everything else. Click the middle of the table. Here, you want to interact with Lothar Richards and grab the word years. Then grab the Gideon Bell book on the far right for the words Gideon Bell. You can ignore everything else in this room and head through the door in the back. As you get in here, interact with the person on the far left of the room, interact with their idol to get the word idol, and at 17 out of 46, you can solve. The puzzle is also very simple. It is 3 years have passed since the Order has seized power. During a tribunal, Gideon Bell is judged to have the largest merit deduction in all of tribunal history. To execute his punishment, idol was used on him, and he lost 88 years and died. Last but not least, we can return to the scenario selection to do, for now, the final case of the game, which is 11, the slight delay in the peaceful march to the king's castle. Starting in the bottom left-hand corner, go to the little city of tents, and then go into the tent in the middle. Here, click on the left, and you'll find a map. The 3 words we want are manor, crossroads, and cabin. Back up from the map and interact with the stone bust. Here, grab the name Lazarus Hurst, and then back up and go into the safe near the bottom right of the screen. Finding a book in the safe, here you'll want to go into DG for David Gorin, skip NM but go into AK for Alistair Coke. You'll want JT for James Turner, and you'll want WK for Walter Keene. You'll now be able to back up and go back to the overview of the tent area, clicking the table on the right. Here there will be 2 words you need, which are find and lost, bringing you to 15, and you can exit the tent scene. On the general overview map, you want to follow the path and go to the one near the very, very bottom. Here you'll find a person with an idol. Click their idol for the words golden idol. You can then follow the path towards the yellow house, go into the yellow house scene, and this one's tricky, but near the very bottom right of the screen, you can find a person with a shotgun for the word years. Then head inside of the yellow building near the pigeon with the cage, click on the bag, and in the bag you can find the word have, and then you can back up and leave the yellow house scene. Back in the overview map, head to the right-hand side of the yellow house along the river to find this scene with a lady and a harp. Click on the lady, click her book, click the red seal. Here you can find the words ideal wife and the name Mary. Then exit and go into the green seal of her book to find Peter Batley and the word fight. From there, back up and click on the man in this scene, and here you can find the word kill. After you grab that word, back up and head to the scene near the bottom right-hand corner of the map in the village. At the village, click on the bartender, and the bartender will have the word blackmail. And if you see the 3 people on the left, click the person on the far right for the word kidnap, bringing you to 28 words and allowing you to complete all 4 of the books at the bottom, which are all mandatory. The solution to the first book is early in the morning, Lazarus Hearst went to the manor to kidnap Mary Batley because Lazarus Hearst wanted to have the ideal wife. Once you've entered that, go ahead and switch to the second book, Before the Noon. Alistair Coke and James Turner tried to find Lazarus Hearst. They found the golden idol at the manor. On their way back, they started to fight over it. For the third book, in the afternoon, David Gorin went to the cabin to kill Walter Keene because Walter Keene tried to blackmail Lazarus Hearst to get back his lost years. And for the fourth and final book, in the early morning, Peter Batley killed Lazarus Hearst at the manor. Before noon, Alistair Coke killed James Turner at the crossroads. In the afternoon, Walter Keene killed David Gorin at the cabin. Once you complete all 4 books, you've completed this case. At this point, you're ready to return to the scenario selection, and you only have one thing left, which is the epilogue. Click into the epilogue, and your book should already be full of the 27 words you need. All you need to do is click in the bottom left to complete all 3 of the puzzles in order to complete the epilogue. Now, the solutions are kind of long, but here we go. Sebastian Cloudsley left the idol to the Brotherhood in his will, but then David Gorin, on Edmund Cloudsley's orders, stole the idol and accidentally stabbed Willard Wright. The Brotherhood tasked Walter Keene to punish Edmund Cloudsley and recover the idol, but his attempts were fruitless. The second required scroll. During one attempt, Walter Keene was captured, and Edmund Cloudsley convinced him to join his side. Edmund Cloudsley used the idol to make himself young and infiltrated the Brotherhood under the new identity of Lazarus Hearst. He then claimed to be the Griffin Reborn and transformed the Brotherhood into the Order Party. The third and final scroll. Brotherhood Masters Alistair Coke and James Turner helped Lazarus Hearst seize power in the country and enforce the rule of virtues by taking youth away from the common people and giving it to the Order Party members. Right before the final showdown with the uncooperative king, Lazarus Hearst wanted to kidnap Mary Batley, but was shot by Peter Batley, and the idol was broken. And after completing the final scroll, it should unlock the achievement for the Epilogue Case, completing the base 1000. I hope the video was helpful. Make sure to drop a like. Super thanks is enabled. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show, and hopefully I see you soon. Peace.